Welcome home, everyone. My name is Paula Steenrod. I'm here to just give you a couple of examples of what could be in your home gym and or I have in my home gym. A couple of standard things to start with that you might see at a gym that you would go to that's not in your home, right? Would be a stability ball. I love my stability ball, but I would say this is a piece of equipment that if you don't know if you're going to use it or if you're not using it for multiple things, like I sit on it when I'm doing work at the desk, or I just use it multiple times a week during workouts. It's not something that you have to have. I happen to get this one for free, so yay me, bonus, and I use it all the time. Great, but if you know you're not going to use it or you're not sure you're going to use it, then don't purchase one. I don't think you have to have a stability ball. Something that at home works really well that could mimic a stability ball and some of the things that you do in a stability ball is actually just a chair, preferably one without wheels. And if you back that chair up to a wall, or I have mine backed up to my couch, that tends to work just as well and usually already in your ownership. The next thing that you might see in a gym is, mine is called a Titan Fitness. I bought it on Amazon. It's sort of like a knockoff of the TRX, works just as great. I tend to not use this in winter months. I tend to use it in the summer, so I can go to some park and I hook it on the playground equipment, and then I can get my strength training workout outside, not inside. But I can take this with me to add some more challenging moves. Next on my home gym is some old school hand weights. These are nice because I can add a few weights on the end or take them off. I don't have to have a whole bunch of different sets. The tricky part is I need like some kind of wrench thing to take these screws off. So that's a little annoying, but again, free to me and they work just fine. Something that I think a lot of people should have that would be beneficial would be an exercise mat or a yoga mat, depending on what you are doing, right? If you don't have one and you're like, I'm just kind of getting into this, I don't know if I should get a mat. Mats typically aren't that expensive, but if you are not sure you're going to keep up on your New Year's resolution or whatever you choose, use a blanket. And honestly, this blanket sits right over there on my couch. So you probably already own a blanket. The next thing in my artillery is a yoga block. Again, if you are not sure you're going to be doing yoga or you're not going to use a yoga block, something else that works really well is going to be a pillow, right? You can sit on the pillow, you can put it underneath your pelvis if you're trying to lay kind of in an inverted position. Again, this pillow sits on my couch. Something else that works really well instead of a block are textbooks. You know those textbooks that you paid all kinds of money for? They are going to come in handy for you. I have a couple back here on my shelf that I like to use that are a good, nice thickness. These also work really well for weights because books are weighted, right? So, textbooks. The next thing that if you are interested in exercising or getting a home gym started, are handle bands and loop bands. I personally do a lot more with handle bands versus a loop band, but I still love loop bands because there are some really critical exercises that I enjoy doing and that are very effective for me that I can only do with a loop band. So I like to have that in my arsenal. And then a handle band, if you don't want a bunch of bulky weights hanging around. Again, these are free to me. Before that, I had handle bands. I still have handle bands. I still use handle bands. Love handle bands. You can do all kinds of things with them. Oftentimes, they come in packs of 3. The light, medium, and hard version. So if you're like, well, I'm kind of into this and I kind of want to do some things online, go and purchase some handle bands. They're usually like $15 to $30 for a set of 3, and they're very versatile. If you're going out of town, you can pack them up nice and small in your suitcase and take them with and still get your workouts in. Okay? A couple of non-standard things you will not probably see in a gym. Again, those textbooks. They do act as weights. If you want something else that's weighted, you probably have some canned food around. If you do enough reps, or even it's just adding some extra resistance, that extra weight from the cans will be effective. The other thing you can use for extra weight is a gallon of water. A gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. So that's a significant amount of weight, especially if you are just starting to work out, right? So you can hang on to that. One thing that has been my new favorite in 2020 are paper plates. Who knew? They are really cruel, really. But I love them because there are these things called gliders that a lot of gyms have, and you can use paper plates. They glide on wood floor, they glide on carpet. It's great. Another thing that I use often is a chair. I can use these instead of my stability ball. I can use it for step-ups if I'm doing a really hard, challenging leg day. So those are just a couple of items. Again, I think if you're like, ooh, I really want to get something, I would say handle bands for sure. I'll link my favorite brand down below so that you know what that is. Otherwise, get out your gallon of water and your canned fruit in those old textbooks. Until next time, let me know what else you need to know. Take care.